For us, one of the things we really pushed was the integration between, if anything, showed us maybe where we need to improve, and we are improving, have improved since there, was big explosions, fire, pyro, working with hard surfaces that are shiny, and all needing that to be in one big renderer. And we had to work around that. We had techniques for that, but I think we did a really good job with that. But I think in the future, where we're going is everything being in one big render, and as opposed to being in separate renders, which on this one that was the only option we had available to us. Also, the destruction of the car, it's one thing to crash a helicopter into the ground, it's another thing to have a very articulated vehicle that's contacting the ground, hit by another vehicle, which also needs to be simulated, and continue that simulation into another shot. So we really pipelined the actual crashes so that they could sort of hook up with the next one. And we added shots later on that said, okay, let's try that, use that rig again for this other shot. So I think we moved forward there with our car crash rigs. So on this particular project, I was not on set. Mark Hotchkins, who was our CG supervisor, was on set. Jody Johnson and Mariah, our Etherton Sparks, who was our producer, were on set, along with a team of our match move supervisor and data wranglers that go on set. And DNEG, to a certain degree, has gotten this down to a fine art. We have a rig that captures our HDR images very quickly, and the crew gets used to that very. There's a certain amount of time, but it's not a long amount of time to come in and capture our HDR images. We're quite good at taking STIG, what we call STIG photography, which is large digital images that can be stitched together to be used for panoramic views or for reflection maps. And we have tools for making that much quicker on our side. But I think on this project, what was unique is that we were embedded, and Ron really wanted us to be a part of that process from the very beginning. So the people that went on set for this project were there for 3 months. They were part of the shoot. They were helpful, and they were part of the collaboration. So if there was something we needed close-up photography of the fiberglass that had been taken off of one of the liveries as damaged to be dressed, they were going to give us that time. They knew that they wanted, on a smaller budget project like this, there was a good trade-off there where we wanted to be able to get all the data we could to make it as helpful as possible. I think that's a really important aspect of bringing it all back and making it possible, because without that reference, that on-set reference, the time and the ability to take that, it's nearly impossible to add those hard shots or make those shots get to the realism that we need to get to. We had access to all the plans for the cars, which are really important for making our digital build version of those cars. We could do shoots inside the actual tent where the cars were being stored, so then we could match to those and send those back to Ron and say, here's our CG version of the McLaren or the Hasketh, or the ELF with the 8 wheels, 4 front wheels so we definitely had access on this show, and that made a huge difference. It's been fantastic. FMX is very well organized. You feel it's just a top-notch conference that feels very much to the state of the art. I've particularly enjoyed some of the virtual production talks. The Frozen talk was really good. And just the staff has been really helpful about taking us around, making us feel welcome, and always making sure that we're taken care of. I feel like the industry presence is high and strong, and that makes me happy to be here and want to come back. There's a lot of people that you're used to seeing and want to work with, and they're here, so that's good.